Imagine this. You're going about your day, the world spinning as it always does, when suddenly, a thought creeps in. It's them. Someone from your past, maybe a lover, a friend, or even a fleeting connection, who lingers in your mind like a melody you can't shake. Time has passed, decisions have been made, and yet, their presence remains, unshakable, like a ghost in the corridors of your psyche. Why do they stay? Why do these thoughts persist despite your efforts to move on? In this deep dive, we're going to unravel this mystery through the lens of Carl Jung's psychology, blending psychological insight with the symbolic wisdom of astrology and my own reflections as a seasoned researcher of the human psyche. This isn't just about understanding why someone lingers in your thoughts. It's about unlocking the hidden messages your soul is trying to send you. Stick with me for this transformative journey, because by the end, you'll not only understand why they're still in your mind, but also how to turn this haunting into a powerful opportunity for growth, healing, and self-discovery. Let's begin. The persiste présence. The question of why someone lingers in your thoughts is universal. It's not about weakness or obsession. It's about the nature of the human psyche. According to Carl Jung, the mind is a vast, layered landscape, and the thoughts that surface repeatedly are not random. They are signals from the unconscious, pointing to something unresolved, something that demands your attention. In my years studying Jung's work, I've come to see these lingering thoughts as invitations. They're not about the person themselves, but about what they represent in your inner world. Maybe they triggered a wound, awakened a desire, or mirrored a part of you that you've yet to fully embrace. The persistence of these thoughts isn't a curse. It's a call to dive deeper into yourself. From an astrological perspective, this phenomenon often aligns with the energies of Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and the subconscious. Neptune blurs boundaries, making it hard to let go of emotional connections that feel unfinished. When someone occupies your thoughts, it's as if Neptune is weaving a thread between your conscious and unconscious, urging you to explore what lies beneath. Personal reflection, 60% in my practice. I've seen countless clients struggle with this. One woman, let's call her Sarah, couldn't stop thinking about a man she dated briefly. She thought it was love, but through Jungian analysis, we discovered he represented her unexpressed creativity, a part of her she'd buried to please others. The thoughts weren't about him, but about her need to reclaim her artistic soul. This is why I believe these thoughts are never just about the other person, they're about you. Carl Jung's lens on the unconscious. Jung taught us that the unconscious mind is not a passive storage unit, but an active, dynamic force. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's not because you're stuck or in love. It's because your unconscious is signaling unfinished inner work. This isn't about attachment in the romantic sense. It's about the psychological and spiritual work you need to do to become whole. Jung's concept of the shadow, the hidden, often repressed parts of ourselves, plays a key role here. The person in your thoughts may have activated your shadow, bringing to light qualities you've denied or suppressed. For example, if they were bold and you're reserved, they might represent the courage you long to embody. Until you integrate this aspect of yourself, their presence will linger like an echo. Astrological insight. In astrology, the 12th house governs the unconscious and hidden realms. Planets in this house, especially the Moon or Venus, can amplify the tendency to dwell on past relationships. If your natal chart has strong 12th house placements, you may be particularly sensitive to these psychic echoes. Personal reflection. 60%. I've always found Jung's view liberating because it shifts the focus from the external person to the internal journey. In my own life, I once fixated on a friend who seemed to embody freedom. Through journaling and dream analysis, two Jungian tools I swear by, I realized I was projecting my own desire for liberation onto her. The moment I started pursuing my own freedom, her presence in my thoughts faded. This is why I urge you to see these thoughts as a mirror, not a chain. Relationships as mirrors of the self. Jung believed that relationships are not just about connection, they're about self-discovery. Every person we encounter reflects a part of our psyche that needs to be acknowledged, healed, or understood. When someone lingers in your thoughts, they're likely a mirror for an aspect of yourself you've yet to fully integrate. For instance, if you keep thinking about someone who hurt you, they might represent a wound that predates them, perhaps a childhood betrayal or a fear of abandonment. By reflecting on what they triggered, you can begin to heal the root cause, not just the surface pain. Astrological insight. The seventh house in astrology governs relationships and projections. Planets like Venus or Mars in the seventh house can indicate a tendency to see parts of yourself in others, making it harder to let go when the relationship ends. Similarly, Pluto in the seventh house can create intense, transformative connections that linger long after the relationship is over. As a psychologist, I've seen how relationships act as catalysts for growth. One client, John, couldn't stop thinking about his ex-wife, who he felt completed him. Through our sessions, we uncovered that she represented his anima, the feminine, intuitive side of his psyche that he'd suppressed in his rigid, logical life. By embracing his intuition, he found peace. This is why I believe relationships are never just about the other person. They're about the parts of you they awaken. The repetition of unresolved experiences, 10 to 1300 hours. The mind has a remarkable ability to replay unresolved experiences until they're understood. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's not because you're weak, it's because your psyche is urging you to process something you've avoided. Jung called this the repetition compulsion, a tendency to revisit unresolved emotions until they're integrated. Instead of fighting these thoughts, Jung would encourage you to lean into them. Acknowledge the emotions they bring up, anger, sadness, longing, and ask what they're trying to teach you. This is the first step toward integration. Astrological insight. Saturn, the planet of lessons and karma, often plays a role in repetitive thoughts. If Saturn is transiting your fourth house, home and inner self, or 12th house, unconscious, you may feel compelled to revisit past emotional experiences until you've learned their lessons. In my practice, I've seen how resisting these thoughts only strengthens them. One technique I recommend is active imagination, a Jungian method where you dialogue with a person in your mind. Ask them, "Why are you here? What do I need to learn?" This approach helped me process a lingering memory of a mentor who represented my unfulfilled ambition. By acknowledging the lesson, I was able to move forward. Try it, it's powerful. The process of inner work. Inner work, in Jung's view, is not about cutting ties or forgetting someone. It's about facing the emotional truths they left behind. This might mean grieving a loss, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, or reclaiming a part of yourself you gave away. The goal is integration, not erasure. This process requires courage. It's tempting to distract yourself with new relationships or busy schedules, but true healing comes from sitting with a discomfort and asking, "What is this teaching me?" Astrological insight. The North Node, which represents your soul's purpose, can guide this inner work. If your North Node is in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, your path involves emotional integration and healing. Pay attention to transits involving the North Node. They often coincide with periods of intense inner work. I've always believed that inner work is the heart of psychological growth. In my own journey, I once struggled to let go of a friendship that ended abruptly. Through meditation and journaling, I realized I was holding on to guilt for not being enough. By forgiving myself, I integrated the lesson and found peace. This is why I encourage you to embrace the discomfort. It's where the magic happens. The energetic knot in the psyche. Jung described unresolved emotional bonds as energetic knots in the psyche, tangles of emotion that affect your self-esteem, decisions, and future relationships. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's because this knot remains untied, pulling at your energy until it's addressed. These knots often form when we suppress emotions or avoid closure. For example, if you never expressed your anger toward someone, that energy festers, keeping them in your thoughts. Untying the knot requires honesty with yourself and a willingness to feel what you've buried. Astrological insight. Pluto, the planet of transformation and the shadow, is often involved in these energetic knots. A Pluto transit to your natal moon or Venus can intensify emotional bonds, making it harder to let go until you've faced the underlying truth. In my work, I've seen how these knots can sabotage new relationships. One client, Emma, kept attracting partners who mirrored her ex's flaws. Through shadow work, we uncovered an energetic knot tied to her fear of vulnerability. By processing this, she broke the cycle. This is why I believe untangling these knots is essential for moving forward. Emotional integration as strength. Thinking about someone isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your psyche is working to integrate an emotional experience. Jung emphasized that integration is a process of becoming whole, not erasing the past. By acknowledging the emotions tied to this person, you're doing the brave work of healing. This might involve writing a letter you'll never send, crying for the loss, or celebrating the joy the relationship brought. The key is to honor the experience without judgment. Astrological insight. The moon, which governs emotions, plays a significant role in integration. If your moon is in a fixed sign, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you may struggle to let go of emotional experiences until they're fully processed. I've always admired clients who embrace this process. One man, David, spent years haunted by thoughts of his first love. Through therapy, he realized he was clinging to the innocence she represented. By honoring that part of himself, he found closure. This is why I believe integration is an act of strength, not surrender. Love versus unresolved emotions. It's easy to mistake lingering thoughts for love, but Jung would argue that love is only part of the equation. Often, these thoughts stem from unresolved emotions or unconscious needs, perhaps a need for validation, security, or self-worth. Distinguishing between love and these deeper forces is crucial for healing. For example, if you keep thinking about someone who rejected you, it might not be love but a wound to your self-esteem that needs attention. By addressing the root cause, you can free yourself from the cycle. Astrological insight. Venus, the planet of love, can shed light on this distinction. A challenging Venus-Saturn aspect in your chart might indicate a tendency to confuse love with duty or sacrifice, keeping you tied to unresolved emotions. In my practice, I've seen how this confusion derails healing. One client, Lisa, thought she was still in love with her ex, but through dream analysis, we discovered she was seeking the stability he represented. By building her own sense of security, she moved on. This is why I urge you to look beyond the surface of love, to the deeper needs at play. Archetypes and the power of symbols. Jung's concept of archetypes, universal patterns in the collective unconscious, explains why some people leave such a lasting impact. The person in your thoughts may have activated an archetype, such as the lover, the hero, or the wounded healer. These archetypes carry immense emotional weight, making the person feel larger than life. For example, if someone represented the anima, the feminine archetype in men, or animus, the masculine archetype in women, they may symbolize qualities you need to integrate, like creativity or strength. Their presence in your thoughts is a call to embody these qualities yourself. Astrological insight. The outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, often activate archetypal energies. A Neptune transit to your sun or moon can make someone feel like a soulmate, while a Pluto transit can evoke the destroyer archetype, stirring deep transformation. I've always been fascinated by archetypes because they reveal the mythic quality of our lives. In my own journey, I once fixated on a colleague who embodied sexual passion, the archetype of the wise elder. By exploring this archetype, I realized she represented the wisdom I needed to cultivate. This insight helped me let go of her hold on my thoughts. Try exploring the archetypes in your own life. It's a game changer. The search for inner closure. The thoughts about someone are often a search for closure, not with them, but within yourself. Jung believed that the unconscious seeks wholeness, and these thoughts are a sign that you're trying to reclaim something you lost in the relationship, whether it's confidence, joy, or self-worth. Closure doesn't require a conversation with the other person. It comes from understanding the emotional experience and integrating its lessons. This might mean forgiving them, forgiving yourself, or simply accepting the relationship for what it was. Astrological insight. Chiron, the wounded healer, is key to closure. A Chiron transit to your natal Venus or moon can highlight old wounds that need healing, keeping someone in your thoughts until you address them. In my practice, I've seen how inner closure transforms lives. One client, Maria, was haunted by thoughts of a toxic friend. Through guided visualization, she realized she'd lost her sense of boundaries in that relationship. By reclaiming them, she found peace. This is why I believe closure is an inside job. Reclaiming sacrificed parts of yourself. Relationships often involve sacrifice. Maybe you dimmed your light, silenced your voice, or abandoned a dream to keep the peace. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's often because they represent the parts of yourself you gave up. Reclaiming these parts is essential for moving forward. This might mean rediscovering a passion, setting boundaries, or embracing your authentic self. The goal is to become whole, not to dwell on what was lost. Astrological insight. The sun, which represents your core identity, can guide this process. A Sun-Pluto aspect in your chart might indicate a tendency to lose yourself in relationships, making reclamation a key theme. I've seen the power of reclamation firsthand. One client, Tom, kept thinking about an ex who encouraged his writing. By picking up his pen again, he reclaimed his creative spark and let go of her hold. This is why I encourage you to ask, what did I give up, and how can I take it back? Spiritual work and self-return. True spiritual work, in Jung's view, is about returning to yourself. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's not about rekindling the relationship, but about reclaiming the parts of yourself you abandoned. This is a sacred journey of self-discovery and healing. This work might involve meditation, therapy, or creative expression, anything that helps you reconnect with your soul. The goal is to become whole, not to chase external validation. Astrological insight. The 9th house, which governs spirituality, can guide this journey. Planets in the 9th house, especially Jupiter or Neptune, can amplify your need for meaning and self-return. In my own life, spiritual practices like yoga and dream work have helped me return to myself after painful relationships. One breakthrough came when I realized a past love represented my unexpressed spirituality. By deepening my practice, I found peace. This is why I believe spiritual work is the key to healing. The conscious-unconscious conflict. Your conscious mind may know it's time to move on, but your unconscious has other plans. This conflict is why someone lingers in your thoughts. Your unconscious is seeking understanding and transformation. Jung called this the tension of opposites, a dynamic that drives psychological growth. To resolve this conflict, you need to bridge the conscious and unconscious. Journaling, therapy, and dream analysis are powerful tools for this. Astrological insight. Mercury, the planet of communication, governs the conscious mind, while the moon rules the unconscious. A Mercury-Moon aspect in your chart can highlight this tension, making integration a key theme. I've seen this conflict play out in countless clients. One woman, Rachel, consciously wanted to forget her ex, but her dreams kept bringing him back. Through dream analysis, we uncovered her need for self-compassion. This is why I believe bridging the conscious and unconscious is essential for healing. Reflective questions for growth. To deepen your understanding, ask yourself reflective questions. What did this relationship teach me? What parts of me blossomed or withered? Who did I truly love in this relationship? Was it them or what they represented? These questions can unlock profound insights. Astrological insight, the 10th house, which governs self-reflection, can guide this process. Planets in the 10th house, especially Saturn or Pluto, can push you to confront hard truths for growth. In my practice, reflective questions are a cornerstone of healing. One client, Alex, realized he loved the confidence his ex inspired, not her specifically. By cultivating his own confidence, he moved on. Try these questions. They're transformative. Individuation and transformation. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your true self, is at the heart of why someone lingers in your thoughts. Every intense relationship serves to refine you, not define you. By recognizing the hidden aspects of yourself this person revealed, you can transform and grow. Astrological insight, the North Node, your soul's purpose, guides individuation. A North Node in a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, might push you to embrace your individuality through these experiences. Individuation is my favorite Jungian concept because it frames every challenge as an opportunity. In my own life, a painful breakup revealed my fear of vulnerability. By embracing it, I grew into a more authentic version of myself. This is why I believe every relationship is a stepping stone to wholeness. The symbolic power of bonds. The person in your thoughts isn't just a person, they're a symbol. They might represent love, freedom, pain, or potential. This symbolic bond is why they linger, not just their physical presence. By understanding the symbol, you can integrate its meaning and move forward. Astrological insight, the 8th house, which governs deep bonds, can amplify symbolic connections. Planets in the 8th house, especially Venus or Pluto, can create intense, lasting emotional ties. In my work, I've seen how symbols unlock healing. One client, Sarah, kept thinking about a friend who represented adventure. By embracing her own sense of adventure, she let go. This is why I encourage you to ask, what does this person symbolize? The soul's urgent message. Constant thoughts about someone are a message from your soul. Jung believed the psyche communicates through symbols and repetition, and these thoughts are a sign that something unresolved needs your attention. Listen to this message. It's guiding you toward healing. Astrological insight. The 12th house, the realm of the soul, is key here. A strong 12th house placement, especially the sun or moon, can make you highly attuned to these messages. I've always trusted the soul's wisdom. In my own life, thoughts of a past mentor signaled my need to step into my own leadership. By listening, I found my path. This is why I urge you to honor these thoughts as sacred messages. Transforming pain into wisdom. Pain is a powerful teacher. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it's an invitation to embrace the pain and turn it into wisdom. Jung believed that suffering, when faced consciously, leads to growth. Don't run from the pain. Lean into it. Astrological insight. Chiron, the wounded healer, governs this transformation. A Chiron transit to your natal sun or moon can push you to turn pain into wisdom. In my practice, I've seen pain become a catalyst for growth. One client, Mark, transformed the pain of a breakup into a deeper understanding of his need for authenticity. This is why I believe pain is a portal to wisdom. Soul connections, not coincidences. Jung believed that significant relationships are not random, they're soul connections with profound messages. The person in your thoughts was meant to cross your path, not to define you, but to reveal something about yourself. Honor this connection as a gift. Astrological insight, the vertex, a point of fated encounters, can highlight soul connections. A vertex activation in your chart might coincide with meeting someone who lingers in your thoughts. I've always seen relationships as divine appointments. In my own life, a brief romance revealed my need for self-love. By honoring it as a soul connection, I grew. This is why I believe every encounter has a purpose. Closure from within. True closure doesn't come from the other person's actions or words. It comes from understanding the emotional experience. Jung emphasized that healing is an inner process. By integrating the lessons of the relationship, you can find peace. Astrological insight, the fourth house, which governs inner security, is key to closure. Planets in the fourth house, especially the Moon or Venus, can guide you toward inner peace. In my work, I've seen the power of inner closure. One client, Emily, found peace by journaling about her ex's impact on her self-worth. This is why I believe closure is about you, not them. The emotional journey of integration. The lingering thoughts are part of an emotional journey. They're not a sign of failure, but a call to integrate the experience with love and compassion. Jung believed that emotions are the raw material of growth. Use them wisely. Astrological insight. The moon, the planet of emotions, guides this journey. A Moon-Neptune aspect in your chart might amplify the emotional intensity of these thoughts. I've seen clients transform through emotional integration. One woman, Claire, embraced the sadness of a lost friendship and found a deeper capacity for love. This is why I encourage you to treat your emotions as allies. Résistance prolonge attaquement. Resisting the thoughts about someone only strengthens their hold. Jung taught that what we resist persists. Instead of fighting these thoughts, explore the emotions and fears behind them. This is the path to freedom. Astrological insight. Mars, the planet of resistance, can amplify this struggle. A Mars-Pluto aspect might indicate a tendency to fight emotional truths, prolonging attachment. In my practice, I've seen resistance create cycles of pain. One client, James, stopped resisting thoughts of his ex by meditating on his fears of abandonment. This is why I believe acceptance is the key to release. Inner alchemy and healing. Healing is an alchemical process, not a logical one. Jung described it as transforming the raw material of emotions into the gold of wisdom. This requires introspection, patience, and trust in the process. Astrological insight. Pluto, the planet of alchemy, governs this transformation. A Pluto transit to your natal sun or moon can trigger a powerful healing journey. I've always seen healing as a mystical process. In my own life, journaling about a painful rejection transformed my self-doubt into self-acceptance. This is why I believe alchemy is the heart of healing. Self-discovery through non-judgment. Stop judging yourself for thinking about someone. These thoughts are part of your journey, not a flaw. Jung encouraged self-compassion as a path to growth. By embracing your process, you can integrate the symbolic presence of this person. Astrological insight. The first house, which governs self-identity, is key to self-compassion. Planets in the first house, especially the Sun or Jupiter, can support a positive self-image. In my work, I've seen self-compassion unlock healing. One client, Laura, stopped judging her thoughts about an ex and found clarity about her need for boundaries. This is why I encourage you to be kind to yourself.
The symbolic resonance of connection.
The connection with this person was symbolic, resonating with a part of your psyche that needs attention. Your journey now is to meet that part of yourself, whether it's creativity, courage, or love, and integrate it. Astrological insight. The fifth house, which governs self-expression, can highlight the symbolic resonance of relationships. Planets in the fifth house, especially Venus or the Sun, can amplify this dynamic. In my own life, a symbolic connection with a mentor revealed my need for purpose. By pursuing it, I integrated the lesson. This is why I believe every connection is a mirror for your soul. Healing through reclamation. Healing is about understanding what the relationship revealed about you and reclaiming your power. Jung believed that every experience holds a lesson. By claiming the gifts of this relationship, you can move forward with strength. Astrological insight. The eighth house, which governs transformation, is key to reclamation. Planets in the eighth house, especially Mars or Pluto, can drive this process. I've seen reclamation empower clients. One man, Paul, reclaimed his confidence after a breakup by pursuing his career goals. This is why I believe healing is about taking back your power.
Reflecting on your emotional awakening.
When you think about someone, you're really reflecting on the part of yourself that needs healing or acceptance. Jung saw these moments as opportunities for awakening. Embrace them as a chance to grow. Astrological insight. The 12th house, the realm of the unconscious, governs awakening. A strong 12th house placement can make you highly sensitive to these moments.
In my practice, even a sin awakening transform lives.
One client, Anna, realized her thoughts about an ex were about her need for self-love. This is why I believe every thought is an invitation to awaken. Symbolism over logic. Healing requires processing emotions through symbolism, not logic. Jung believed that the psyche speaks in images and metaphors. By engaging with the symbolic meaning of this person, you can find true healing. Astrological insight. Neptune, the planet of symbolism, guides this process. A Neptune transit to your natal Mercury or Moon can amplify the need for symbolic understanding. I've always loved Jung's emphasis on symbolism. In my own life, a dream about a past love revealed my need for freedom. By exploring the symbol, I healed. This is why I encourage you to think in images, not just facts. Transformation through gratitude. Even painful connections carry a seed of transformation. Jung believed that gratitude for the lessons of a relationship can lead to closure. By appreciating what you've learned, you can let go without forgetting. Astrological insight. Jupiter, the planet of gratitude, supports this process. A Jupiter transit to your natal Venus or Moon can inspire a sense of appreciation. In my work, gratitude has been a game changer. One client, Mike, found closure by thanking his ex for teaching him resilience. This is why I believe gratitude is the key to transformation. Self-awareness as power. Self-awareness is the foundation of healing. By understanding your role in the emotions you've felt, you can reclaim your power and let go of the need to cling to someone. Jung saw this as the path to wholeness. Astrological insight. The first house, which governs self-awareness, is key. Planets in the first house, especially Mercury or the Sun, can enhance your ability to understand yourself. I've seen self-awareness empower clients. One woman, Kate, realized she clung to an ex because of her fear of loneliness. By facing this, she moved on. This is why I believe self-awareness is your superpower. The person as a catalyst. The person in your thoughts may have been a catalyst, activating parts of yourself you needed to meet. Jung believed that every encounter serves a purpose. By recognizing this, you can honor their role without staying stuck. Astrological insight. Uranus, the planet of awakening, can trigger these catalytic moments. A Uranus transit to your natal Sun or Moon can spark profound self-discovery. In my own life, a brief friendship catalyzed my passion for psychology. By honoring its role, I moved forward. This is why I believe every person is a teacher. Looking inward for answers. Healing begins when you stop seeking answers outside yourself. Jung emphasized that the psyche holds all the wisdom you need. By looking inward, you can understand the lessons of this relationship and grow. Astrological insight. The fourth house, which governs inner wisdom, is key. Planets in the fourth house, especially the Moon or Pluto, can guide you inward. In my practice, inward focus has been transformative. One client, Chris, found answers by meditating on his ex's impact. This is why I believe the answers are within you. Understanding attachment. Understanding what this person represented allows you to find peace. Jung believed that attachment stems from projection. By reclaiming the qualities you projected onto them, you can let go. Astrological insight. The seventh house, which governs projection, is key. Planets in the seventh house, especially Venus or Neptune, can amplify attachment through projection. I've seen projection create cycles of attachment. One client, Lisa, realized she projected confidence onto her ex. By cultivating her own, she found peace. This is why I encourage you to reclaim your projections. Unfinished business in the psyche. When someone lingers despite time and distance, it's a sign of unfinished business. Jung saw these thoughts as the psyche's way of demanding resolution. By addressing this, you can find closure. Astrological insight. Saturn, the planet of unfinished lessons, governs this dynamic. A Saturn transit to your natal Moon or Venus can highlight unresolved emotional business. In my work, I've seen unfinished business create cycles of pain. One client, Tom, resolved thoughts of an ex by addressing his guilt. This is why I believe resolution is the path to freedom. Psychic resolution and peace. The unresolved emotional story is calling for resolution. Jung believed that denial prolongs pain, but integration brings peace. By facing the truth of the experience, you can let go. Astrological insight. The 12th house, the realm of resolution, is key. Planets in the 12th house, especially the Moon or Pluto, can drive this process. I've seen resolution bring profound peace. One client, Sarah, found closure by forgiving herself for a past relationship. This is why I believe integration is the key to peace. Loss as opportunity. Loss is an opportunity for growth. Jung believed that every ending holds the seed of a new beginning. By understanding the absence, you can heal and move forward. Astrological insight. Pluto, the planet of endings and beginnings, governs this dynamic. A Pluto transit to your natal sun or moon can trigger transformative loss. In my own life, a painful loss led to a deeper understanding of my strength. By embracing it, I grew. This is why I believe loss is a gift in disguise. Embracing pain with awareness. Pain, when embraced consciously, becomes a portal to growth. Jung saw suffering as a teacher. By facing the pain of this relationship, you can unlock profound wisdom. Astrological insight. Chiron, the wounded healer, governs this process. A Chiron transit to your natal Venus or moon can push you to embrace pain for growth. I've seen pain transform lives. One client, Mark, turned the pain of a breakup into a deeper sense of purpose. This is why I believe pain is a powerful teacher. Emotional patterns and childhood. Lingering thoughts may stem from unresolved childhood patterns. Jung believed that early relationships shape our emotional landscape. The person in your thoughts may have activated these old bonds. Astrological insight. The fourth house, which governs childhood, is key. Planets in the fourth house, especially the Moon or Saturn, can highlight these patterns. In my practice, I've seen childhood patterns create cycles. One client, Emma, realized her ex triggered her fear of abandonment from childhood. By healing this, she moved on. This is why I believe the past holds clues to the present. Awakening through understanding. Understanding the emotional patterns and bonds keeps someone in your thoughts, opening a new opportunity for healing. Jung saw understanding as the path to awakening. By exploring these patterns, you can grow. Astrological insight. Uranus, the planet of awakening, governs this process. A Uranus transit to your natal moon or Venus can spark profound insights. I've seen understanding unlock healing. One client, John, realized his thoughts about an ex were tied to his need for approval. This is why I believe understanding is the key to awakening.
Empowerment through self-discovery.
Real healing comes from understanding what the relationship revealed about you. Jung believed that self-discovery is the path to empowerment. By reclaiming your power, you can let go. Astrological insight. The first house, which governs self-discovery, is key. Planets in the first house, especially the Sun or Mars, can drive this process. In my work, I've seen self-discovery empower clients. One woman, Rachel, reclaimed her strength after a breakup by pursuing her passions. This is why I believe self-discovery is the heart of healing. Closure through meaning. The memory of this person remains, but its emotional weight lifts when you integrate its meaning. Jung believed that meaning brings closure. By understanding the relationship's purpose, you can find peace. Astrological insight. The ninth house, which governs meaning, is key. Planets in the ninth house, especially Jupiter or the Sun, can guide you toward closure. I've seen meaning transform pain. One client, David, found closure by seeing his ex as a teacher of resilience. This is why I believe meaning is the key to peace. Inner peace and freedom. True peace comes from understanding, not forgetting. Jung believed that freedom lies in integration, not erasure. By letting go of the need for answers, you can find inner peace. Astrological insight. The 12th house, the realm of peace, is key. Planets in the 12th house, especially the Moon or Neptune, can guide you toward freedom. In my own life, letting go of the need for answers brought peace after a painful breakup. This is why I believe freedom comes from within. A sign of transformation. Constant thoughts about someone are not a mistake. They're a sign that transformation is happening. Jung saw these moments as evidence of growth. You're ready to move forward. Astrological insight. Pluto, the planet of transformation, governs this process. A Pluto transit to your natal sun or moon can signal a powerful shift. I've seen transformation in every client who faces these thoughts. One man, Paul, turned his obsession into a journey of self-love. This is why I believe these thoughts are a gift. The power of community. Sharing your experiences creates connection and healing. Jung believed that community amplifies growth. By sharing your journey, you help others feel less alone. Astrological insight. The 11th house, which governs community, is key. Planets in the 11th house, especially Venus or Jupiter, can inspire connection. In my practice, group therapy has shown me the power of community. One client, Lisa, found solace by sharing her story.
D'ici soyez believe will together.
Helping others through sharing. Your engagement can inspire others. Jung saw shared experiences as a path to collective healing. By contributing to this community, you create meaning beyond yourself. Astrological insight. The 11th house, which governs collective impact, is key. Planets in the 11th house, especially the Sun or Mercury, can amplify your influence. I've seen sharing transform lives. One client, Mike, inspired others by blogging about his healing journey. This is why I believe your story matters. Building a community of transformation. By sharing, you contribute to a community of understanding and growth. Jung believed that collective transformation is powerful. Your voice can create something greater. Astrological insight. The 11th house, which governs collective vision, is key. Planets in the 11th house, especially Uranus or Neptune, can inspire transformation. In my own work, building a community of learners has been my greatest joy.
D'ici soyez believe will stronger together.
Gratitude for your journey. Thank you for your courage, open heart, and willingness to grow. Jung believed that every step toward healing is sacred. Your journey is a testament to your strength. Astrological insight. Jupiter, the planet of gratitude, governs this moment. A Jupiter transit to your natal sun or moon can amplify your appreciation. I'm endlessly grateful for my clients' courage. Your willingness to face these thoughts inspires me every day. This is why I believe you're a hero. This journey through Jung's psychology has shown us that lingering thoughts about someone are not a curse. They're a call to heal, grow, and become whole. By embracing the lessons of these thoughts, you've taken steps toward individuation, self-discovery, and transformation. The pain, the memories, the unresolved emotions, they're all part of your soul's journey to wholeness. Now, I invite you to take this wisdom forward. Reflect on what this person represents, integrate the lessons, and reclaim your power. Share your story in the comments to connect with others on this path. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more content on psychology, astrology, and healing. Together, we can build a community of growth and understanding. Thank you for being here. Your journey matters.